There was once a very wise man, living in ancient times. He was elderly and educated. He held knowledge and books in the highest regard. So, one day, while on a walk, he realized that his shoes were wearing off. Because he spent most of his time walking, on a daily basis. He knew he had to find the best shoes to support and protect his feet. But, back then, this was not such an easy task, as he could not get online to do some research and have his shoes delivered at his door. The wise man did not want to make things worse by purchasing the wrong shoes and having inadequate protection, which would lead to injuries and the inability to leave his home to find new books to read. The wise man gathered all the books that were written by those he admired and began to search for answers to his questions. He decided to check what would be done to his shoes that had worn out. He read through some books for hours, trying to get answers to his questions. He checked but found nothing. He had no choice but to go buy new shoes. He then spent a lot of time reading about how to know if a pair of shoe fits properly. When he had finished reading books about it, he became satisfied with the answers he got. He was very proud of himself for doing such a research, and felt confident in his ability to buy a high-quality replacement for his old shoes. He figured, if he had not done his research, he probably would have gone barefooted for the rest of his life, as he had no one to tell him how to fix his shoes. Following the book's instructions, the wise man took a stick and measured his foot with it. He went to the market looking for a pair of shoes that would fit him. As he got to a shop, he saw a pair of shoes which he loved, but realized he had left the stick for the measurement of his feet at home. He went back home to get it. He went back to the market, but the shop was closed. And, at that point, his shoes were completely spilt, so he had to return home, barefooted. The next morning, he walked back to the market barefoot. When he got to the shop where he saw those shoes, he found out that the shoes had been sold. The wise man explained what happened to the shopkeeper, who reacted with a sense of surprise, asking, "Why didn't you buy the shoes yesterday?" The wise man replied, "Because I forgot the stick that I used to measure my feet back home. So I went home to get the stick for the measurement. I was only following the normal instructions." Even more confused, the shopkeeper asked, "But your foot was with you. Why did you not just try the shoes on?" The wise man was equally confused in return and responded, "All the books say shoes must be bought with the exact same measurements of the shoes you already own." Laughing, the shop owner replied, "Oh, no. You do not need any advice from books to buy shoes. All you need is just your feet, some money and some common sense. All you need to know is that Lord is the only source of wisdom. He gives wisdom and knowledge to them that have understanding. But to have it requires from us the assurance which applies to those who seek after it earnestly. For you to acquire wisdom, you need your efforts and God's assistance." Solomon asked for an understanding heart, and God graciously granted his request because he asked for it. All wisdom comes from the Lord, so do common sense and understanding. Because it is only the Lord that gives wisdom. The wise man from this story did not seek wisdom from God. That was why he found it so hard to have it. To have a great education and a brilliant mind is good. But they are not the key to true knowledge, wisdom and common sense. The wise man thought he would get wisdom through reading earthly books, but that was utter foolishness. Divine wisdom is not found in earthly books, but you need Jesus to access his wisdom. 1 Corinthians 1 verse 27 says, "God has chosen foolish things of this world to confound the wise." 2 Peter chapter 1 verse 16 says, "For we have not followed cunningly devised fables,